good morning everyone. This is the fourth session of class 10th civics chapter 2 federalism. Till now in our 3 sessions in this particular chapter we have seen what do we mean by federalism, then we have seen the features of federalism which we have learned, and we have also seen federalism in the context of India. In that we have seen that how we can say that India is a federal state. In that we have seen that when we talk about India as a federal country, we say that India is having 3 levels of government. That means India is having a division of power between 3 levels of government, that is state government, central government and local government. Central government is on central level, state government for each state and local government for each small locality which India has. And we have also seen that there is a judiciary who check on central, state and local government. And these 3 level of governments are having guaranteed powers or authorities given by the Indian Constitution. And according to the 3 different levels of government, the power has been divided into 3 different subjects, that is union list, state list or concurrent list. Union list includes matter of national importance which is under the control of central government. State list includes matters of states which is under the control of state government, and concurrent list includes common subject or matters like education, marriage, laws, law and order, health. So both central and state government has its authority on concurrent list. So this is the thing, or this is the thing which shows that India is a federal country or India is having a division of power. Now moving on, in our last video we have seen that how India practiced federalism. That means when we say that India is a federal country, see in our last video I have told you, when we say that a particular country is a federal country, or practice of federalism or success of federalism is 2 different things. May a country is having a federalism, but it is not compulsory that federalism is successful in that particular country. Maybe federalism is a big failure. So over here we will see that how federalism is practiced in India, so that we can understand that how much success federalism has in India. So for that, in our last video we have seen that, or we can say that this particular topic has been divided into 3. As we say that India is having unity in diversity, which means we are having different people who speaks different languages, who has different religion and who has different caste, or you can say there are unity in diversity in India. So when we got independence in 1947, it was very difficult for our leaders to make unity in India, and to create unity and peace in India, they have decided that they need to divide the state on the basis of language, because on that time religion, the base of religion is language, because different religious people speaks different languages, or different caste people has their own languages and they are very concerned or emotional about their languages. That is why to create peace and harmony, or to create unity in diversity, after 1947 our states or our leaders have divided the states on the basis of language, which is called as linguistic states. We follow the policy of linguistic states. In India, leaders have divided the states on the basis of languages people speak. Like we are having different states where people speaks the same language. The people who speak same languages, they belong to that particular state. Like Rajasthan, they speak Rajasthani. When we go to Chennai, they are having their own language. When we come to Bengal, they have their own language. Like that, on the basis of language, there is a division of states, which makes people to live easily with their people, and they can feel unity in diversity. Maybe differ in languages, maybe differ in religion, maybe differ or maybe live in different states. Then too we are Indians, or we have our same policies or same ideas about India or being Indian. Secondly, we also, or on that time leaders also divided states on the basis of culture, on the basis of different, not only on the basis of language but on the basis of culture or on the basis of ethnicity. Also states have been divided or states have been made, like Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is been divided or is been separated on the basis of culture. In the same way, last video I have told you, or we have studied that Article 370, which is a special provision in Indian Constitution, which gives Jammu and Kashmir a separate state, a separate official legal state. That is why they have their own constitution. According to Article 370 of Indian Constitution, special provision has been passed under which Jammu and Kashmir is having their own constitution, they have their own elections. That was a separate state in India. Because many people are there who come from the Pakistan and who goes from India in Jammu and Kashmir. So to make them free or to make them feel free, our constitution has decided according to Article 370 that Jammu and Kashmir will have a separate legal status in India. So this is all about the linguistic states which we have in India. Now when we talk about the linguistic state or language, which is very much important in India, or after 1947, it is a duties of a leader or responsibility of our national leaders or creator of the constitution to give each language equal respect, so that there is no majoritarianism like in Sri Lanka we have seen. In Sri Lanka we have seen that they have declared Sinhala, as an official language. They have declared Sinhala as an national language of Sri Lanka because of Sinhala's majority over there. And Tamil people, they feel unequal, they feel unjust, injustice they feel. That is why in India, when we talk about the language policy, our leaders have decided a very unique language policy in which they have not given any language as a national language. In India, there is no national language. They did not have any national language. It is our misconception that Hindi is our national language. Hindi is not our national language. India did not have any national language. We have a misconception that Hindi is a national language. Actually, Hindi is an official language. Hindi is identified as official national language. That means it is an official language, not a national language. We can go anywhere, we can use Hindi as an official language. So Hindi is an official language. There is no national language in India. And secondly, when we talk about other languages also have given the same respect. 25 other languages has been identified as scheduled languages. That means Hindi can be used all over India, but other 25 languages are also there which can be used as a scheduled languages. And apart from that, states have their own official language. Each state has their own official language. Like Maharashtra is having Marathi as an official language. When you go to Gujarat is having Gujarati as an official language. Like that, like when you go to Chennai, over there Tamil is an official language. When you go to Karnataka, over there Kannada is an official language. Like that, each state is having its own official language. That is called as state language. 25 other languages are there which is called as scheduled languages, and Hindi is identified as official language. That means in each area or anywhere you go in India, you can use Hindi as an official language, or each state is having their own official language. And when we talk about Hindi, as Hindi is not our official language, Hindi is not a national language, but it is an official language. That is why our country or our leaders or our laws always, our policies, language policies, always try to protect Hindi, always try to promote Hindi. Because nowadays you can see that English is getting stronger than Hindi. Many of us, we can say that it is a the natural behavior is on us. Like many parents, they want that they want their child to be in English medium schools instead of getting admissions in vernacular medium schools or Hindi medium schools. Nowadays, when we go to find a job, English become a very important thing. When we talk about the jobs, when we talk about the life, that is why many of our leaders have a great debate on Hindi versus English. They always want Hindi to promote, Hindi to be get more importance, because Hindi is an official language and English is a secondary language which we learn, or secondary subject which we learn. But nowadays English is getting more importance than Hindi. That is why the promotion of Hindi is very important nowadays. So I hope you have understand about the language policy in India. Again I am revising that we have no official language. We have no national language. Hindi is an official language in India. We have 25 other scheduled languages, and from that each state is having its own official language. Now, when we talk about the power sharing in India or how federalism is practiced in India, we can say that central state relations, how central state relations have been practiced in India, because as we say that we are having we are having three levels of government in India, that is state, central government, state government and local government. Local government is under the control of central government and state government. So over here we talk about the central government and state government. Now when we talk about the central and state government, it is very important to understand what is the relationship with arrangements between central and state government, or how power has been divided between central and state government, or if there is inequality or equality in the division of power between central and state government. So now we will see that. Now when we talk about power sharing arrangement, how it works, the ruling parties and leaders follow these arrangements. So now when we talk about the power sharing, we know that as India is a democratic country, we have elections. And when elections have been conducted, there are many parties who contest in elections. That means we are having a clear democracy. We are having a choice as a people or as a citizen of India. We are having a choice to select our own government, our own representatives who can rule our government. So when we decide that the party which wins the election, that party is called as ruling party, and that ruling party make arrangements. That ruling party makes central government and different level of the different state governments. So the power arrangement in India is in the hand of ruling party. According to the constitution, ruling party arrange that power sharing into the between the central government and state government and local government. Local government has its own separate elections. State government has its own separate elections. Or on center we are having a separate elections. Like that, through elections, ruling party shares power amongst each other. Then one party dominance is not there in India because it neglects federalism. If one party system is there, there is no division of power. Power has been in the one hand, that is one party. That is why in India we are having multi-party system. We are having many parties, and when we have elections, all these parties are having equal right to contest in elections, and it is in the hand of people that whom they vote and whom they want to win the election and make a government in our country. Now when we talk about parties in India, we are having there are two divisions of parties, or there are two kinds of or types of parties we have in India. Political parties, that is national parties. National levels, we are having parties who are having national importance like Congress, BJP. All these parties are national parties. Now each region we are having a party which is called as regional party. Like in Punjab we are having Punjab party, Akali Dal party. Then we talk about Chennai, we are having AIDMK. These are the regional parties. Shiv Sena is also a regional party in Maharashtra. So these are the regional parties. And these parties are having a same equal right to contest in elections. Now when we talk about power sharing arrangements between central and state government, there is a judiciary. According to the constitution, judiciary is having an authority to check on central and state, check on power sharing between central, state or local government, so that there is no misuse of power. So I hope you have understand this particular topic which we have learned today. In our next topic, or that is our next session, is a last topic of this particular chapter, which is decentralization of power, in which we will see that how power has been practiced in India practically. Till then, thank you.